production buildings in the early game, it's really important to know where you place them. It's really important, right? Especially if you're playing defensively, right? If you're playing defensively, right, you want all your production buildings to be within TC range, right? So everything within here. This allows them to not be torched. Like you see this house right here can be torched, right? So because if this guy keeps harassing you, right, he has more military than you, right, in the beginning, right, you can just burn your production building. 150 wood gone. You see, all your villages that have been farming wood, gone. Resource gone, right? So this is going to make it tough for you, right? So you always want to keep it, if you're playing defensively, you always want to keep it inside your TC, right? Inside your TC range, right? And then another thing here is obviously you want to use your rally points. And then since we're also talking about production, making constant production, right? You see he has barracks and archery range, right? You always want to scout what he's doing to see what he's going to counter you with, right? So if I'm playing here, I see he went barracks and archery. I already know what he's gonna make, right? I know he's gonna go for spearmen and archery, right? This is the only thing he can make in feudal, right? So I should make archers, right? Or I could just keep making horsemen because my knights are heavy, right? Not horsemen, knights, right? But you get the point. I could either do these two military compositions, and you always want to make the right military compositions. If you see here, this guy's producing one, and then he's not producing, right? He has good building placements, but this is bad. This is bad, right? He's not making anything right now, right? But if you see mine, okay, I don't have anything in production too, so I'm also not making, right? But you should always be making production, right? And then another thing is when the game progresses on, you want to have more production buildings, right? So you'll usually see players in lower leagues have less production buildings. They'll only have like one or two, right? You need to keep making more, right? Because every time your resources will start to flood in, right? But you can't spend them, right? So every time you see your floating materials, or like you have a lot of like you see, like if you have like more than 3 like in production, that's when you have to start making more production buildings. So you can see me, I'm making more production buildings. I could have went archers, but I'm just focusing on making more horsemen, because I think at the time I didn't see he had an archery range, right? Sorry, as a barracks or something. I don't know. Yeah, you see, always making production. Bad idle time right here. Bad idle time. You see, he has nothing queued up, right? Oh, and another thing is when you are playing, right? Usually, I used to make this mistake a lot, and it cost me like a lot of games. I used to try to get a lot of villages on wood so I can make more production buildings. So my military production rate is high, right? But this is also a mistake. You don't want it to be too high, you don't want it to be too low, because if it's too high, like you make too much production buildings, most of your villages will be on wood, right, together, and therefore they are not on food, right? And if they're not on food, food or gold, you can't make enough military, right? You can't make more troops. right? So you always want it to be in a perfect balance point. Alright? You always want it to be in a perfect balance point. So never have too high, never have too little, right? So if you have like let's say, you see, if you have like 2 in production, one sec. You see, if you have like 2 in production every time at a constant rate, it's pretty good. If you have 1, if you have 3 or more, you should make, like, if you see like a long chain of military, of troops being in production, you should definitely make more production buildings, right? So that you can, because you have the resources, you just gotta spend it, right? And then you don't want to float materials like this, right? Like I have 500 wood, right? I could make another production building since I'm not gonna use pawns yet, right? I still got a deer right here, so I can always just make more production buildings. You see 600. This is really bad right here. I could go more on food. You see I'm low on food. I should send some villagers to food and gather that. Right. So this is very bad what I did right here. Right. Remember how I was talking about production buildings? They should always be inside your TC range, like if you're playing defensively. So if you see here, right, I'm already producing military. I don't know what my military is. Okay, yeah, I'm going Knight and Arthur. He has a Sipahi. He was actually doing pretty well, right? But he built his military school like outside of TC range, right? But his barracks is here, right? So this and this is really bad, right? So if you see this, it's really exposed, right? So if I kill his troops, I can just go and dive. You see, I'm diving his. I don't. I don't have enough military to dive his base, right? So I can just delete this, kill this to slow him down, and he practically just wasted military on this. Not military, resources on this, right? So this just reduces his production rate, and he's never gonna be able to keep up with me to have more production buildings than him, right? So, and another thing, if you're playing Ottoman, right, this is a big mistake right here. Big mistake. If you're playing Ottoman, you want your military buildings to be around your blacksmith, right? I don't know if it was around it in influence. I don't know, but just in case, you see. Right now he has this. He builds another military production buildings here. Some of it's in range, but obviously as you play the game more, like as the game goes out longer and longer, you won't have enough space, right? But let's say I finish up these troops, right? I finish them up. This is exposed. This this is exposed. And let's say I can't dive in his base, right? The first thing I would go for is these production buildings. At the time I didn't see this, but I have more troops on the way. I don't know where they are. I have more troops on the way, right? So for me, the first thing I should have done is straight away go for this, but I don't think I saw it at the time. If I slow it down here, I don't think I saw it at the time. If I go from, I don't know how to see from my perspective. Toggle 4. You see, I didn't, I did see it. It's visible. But yeah. So at this time I should have went for this, like sooner. But I just stayed back, right? I was destroying his houses. If you don't have production buildings, you can destroy houses just to keep pressure on him, right? And let him keep being at his base, right? So this is pretty good, right? If we fast forward a bit more, you'll see I'll go for his production buildings, and for me, I already have more production buildings in queue. You see? I have more production buildings in queue, right? He has what? 1, 2. You see I'm destroying it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. He's gonna keep losing on this. So yeah, always try to focus on your production buildings. It's basically the second most important thing after your TC. So yeah, if you want more videos, follow me.